Hello and welcome to Maths by SARS. This is my first lesson of exercise 3.4. Book is PTB class 9 science group, and the topic that students we are going to learn and discuss in today's class is application of laws of logarithms in numerical calculations. One of the most important exercise of your Punjab textbook boards examination. So please watch and understand these all questions properly, because you can get these questions in your long questions. Let's move to question number 1, and it says use log tables to find the value of 0.8176 multiplied by 13.64. First step, students, is that we have to suppose that x equals to this given number 0.8176 multiplied by 13.64, and then what we have to do, we have to take the log of x equals to what? Log of the values which are given in the question, 0.8176 multiplied by 13.64. Here the numbers which are given in the question, they are multiplied together. So recall that which law of logarithm we are going to apply when two numbers are multiplied together. We have to write log of the first number, log of 0.8176 plus log of 13.64. I hope you are clear that here, as these two numbers are multiplied together, so the law of the logs for the product of the two numbers says that the log of the first number plus the log of the second number. Now it's a time to locate the log of 0.8176 and log 13.64. Okay, now we have to find the log of 0.8176 and log of 13.64. We know that the log of any number consists of two parts. Which two parts? One is the characteristic and one is the mantissa. And if we look at 0.8176, the characteristic, how to locate the characteristic? We know that the characteristic of the logarithm of the number which is less than 1 is always negative, and 1 more than the number of zeros immediately after the decimal point. Okay, once again let me discuss this point, that the characteristic of the log of the number, this is the number which is less than 1, so the characteristic will be negative. One point, this point has to be really clear to my students, that as this number is less than 1, so characteristic will be negative, and it's 1 more than the number of zeros immediately after the decimal point. Immediately after the decimal point, as this number has no zeros immediately after the decimal point, so the characteristic of this part will be equal to minus 1, so minus 1 bar. And then what we have to do is we have to locate for the mantissa as well, and for mantissa purpose what we have to do is, we know that we have to move in the column log table, and we have to locate 81 in the column of 7 and then in the difference column 6. Let me try to keep my book under the camera so that my students can see this clearly, that how to locate 81. This is the book, and 81 has to be located in what column first? 81 has to be located in the column of 7. So this is 7, 9122. Okay, let me write it somewhere, 9122, and then I have to see it in the difference column. What's difference column? 6. So this is the 1 2 3 4 5 and 6, and the difference is coming of 3, 9122, and then I have to add what to that? I have to add 3 to that. So this will become 9125. And coming to the second part, that is log of 13.64. Okay, now please see here the number is 13.64. It has 2 digits in the integral part. And what is the rule for the characteristic of the numbers which are more than 1? That we know that characteristic of the logarithm of the number greater than 1 is always 1 less than the number of digits in the integral part. 1 less than the number of digits in the integral part, as this question has 2 digits in the integral part. So characteristic will be 1 digit less, that will be 1 only. And then I have to what I have to do is I have to locate 13 in the column of 6, and then I have to check the difference column 4. Let me again keep my book under the camera so that my students can see this, that how we are locating these all values. Then what I have to do is this time I have to locate 13. 1 3 in the column of 6. 1 3 has to be located in the column of 6. This is 1335. 1335, let me write it somewhere. 1335. Let me see. Yes, and then I have to check it in the difference column 4. Difference column 4 is 13, and this will give me 5 plus 3 is 8. 1348. Students, I will be going really slow in all these questions because this is one of the problem for my students. So this will become 1.1348. I hope you are clear. Now for the calculation purpose, this 1 bar will be written as -1 plus 0.9125 plus 1.1348. Now what we can do is that we can hold the calculator at this stage. 1.1348 plus 0.9125, this gives me 2 minus 1 plus 2.0473. I have to take away 1 from this, and I will left with 1.0473. 1.0473 log of x. But what is the requirement of the question? We have to find the number here. This is the log given. Okay, let me draw a line here so that my students should not mix other part with this part. Okay, I can get some space as well. Now look, this is the answer of log, and we know that the characteristic is 1, and mantissa of this question is 0.0473. Now what we have to do, as we need to find the number, whose log is this, what we will be doing, we have to find the antilog of 1.0473. Now what we can do is that we have to move now in which column? In the antilog column, and we have to locate what? We have to locate in the column 0.04. Let me keep my book here. This is the table of antilogs. Okay. Then 04 has to be located in which column? In the column of 7. 04 has to be located in the column of 7. This is 1117, and I have to locate move in the difference column 3. Difference column 3 is giving me 04. Let me see, 04 in the column of 7 is 1114, and the difference column next is 3, 1. So it will become what? 1115. So this part is becoming triple 1 and 5. Now recall what is the role of characteristic in Antilog. Characteristic will be helping us that how many digits we are supposed to leave from the left hand side to get the number. Like characteristic is 1, so we have to add 1 to that, that will become 2. So we have to leave 2 digits from the left hand side, so the number will be 11.15. I hope you are clear about this part, and let's move to the second part of the question. And the second part is 789.5 raised to power of 1 by 8. First thing that we have to do is we have to suppose that x equals to what? 789.5 raised to power of 1 by 8. Step 1, I hope clear to all of my students. Then we have to take log on both sides. Log of x equals to log of 789.5 raised to power of 1 by 8. Now according to the law of log or the rule of log, by applying the theorems of log, I have to bring this power down, and log of 789.5. Now we have to take the log of 789.5, and we know that log of any number consists of how many parts? 2 parts, characteristic and mantissa. For the characteristic purpose, we have to see that how many digits are, in easy words, before decimal. And for the numbers which are bigger than 1, what is the rule for the characteristic? Characteristic is 1 digit less than the number of digits before decimal, as there are 3 digits. So the characteristic of this number will be equal to 2. And for mantissa purpose, what we have to do, we have to write the given number nearest to 4 significant figures, and that is already with 4 digits, 7895. And now what we have to do, we have to move into the log table, and we have to locate first 78, where in the column of 9, and then we have to locate that answer in the difference column 5. Okay, 78, let me keep the book here. 78, but here we have to locate the log table. Okay, 78 will have to be located in what? 78 will have to be located in the column of 9. Okay, let me keep the ruler clearly. This is 78, and in the column of 9, 8971, 8971, and the difference column, what? Difference column 5, which is 3. So what we can do is that 8971, 78 when I'm locating, 78 when I'm locating in the difference column 9 is 8971, 8971, and the difference column 5 is giving me 3. So I will be adding up this number 8974. So I will have 1 by 8 into as the characteristic is 2, so 2 point what? 8974, 8974, and now I have to divide this number 2.8974 divided by 8, and this gives me 0.362175, 0.362175. As we need to take 4 digits, so it will become 0.3622, and this is log of x. Again I need to find the number whose log is this, so I have to take the anti-log of this. For that purpose, what we have to do is that we know that the characteristic of this number is, what is the characteristic of this number? Of this number is 0 and mantissa of this number is mantissa 0.3622. Now what is the role of characteristic that I will be discussing later, and first what we have to do is that we have to locate 0.36 in the column of 2 and then difference column 2. Let me keep my book here so that I can show my students. But this time we will be using which table? Not the log table. This will be the anti-log table, and I have to locate 0.36. I have to locate 0.36. 36 in the column of what? 0.36 in the column of what? 2. Okay. This is 1. This is 2. 2, 3, 0, 1. And then in the difference column 2, which is 1. Okay, let me remove the book here. Okay, this will become, when I'm locating 0.36 in the column of 0.36 in the column of 2, I'm getting 2, 3, 0, 1. And when I'm adding 1 to that, this gives me 2, 3, 0, 2. Role of characteristic. What is the role of characteristic? That it will be helping us in identifying the place where the decimal has to be in the number, and the rule for placing the decimal is that we have to add 1 to the characteristic, and then we have to move the number of digits according to that number from the left hand side. So x will be equal to antilog of what? 0.3622. And then what we have to do is that here we have completed the working for mantissa. So the value of x will be 2.302. So I hope you are clear. I'm going really slow so that my students can understand these lessons during their summer break and practice these all lessons well. Moving to the next part. Okay, question number 1, third part says that use log table to find the value of, let me confirm the question, that is 0.678 multiplied by 9.01 divided by 0.0234. Okay, the question is correct. It's always good to recheck your question before solution, so that if there is any problem with the values, you can correct it in the beginning. So recall the previous two questions. First, what we have to do, we have to write, suppose that this number is x, 0.678 multiplied by 9.01 and upon divided by 0.0234. Now we have to take log on both sides. Okay, now what we have to do is that we have to take log on both sides. Log of 0.678 multiplied by 9.01 upon 0.0234. Then the question is in form of the fraction. So what we have to do, we have to apply the properties of log or laws of logarithm. First of all, I will be applying the Devian law of logarithm, that log 0.678 multiplied by 9.01 minus log 0.0234. And now here in the numerator is the product of two values, so I will be writing log 0.678, and the product law of logarithms says that when two or three numbers are in the product form, we have to write the sum of their logarithms, log 9.01 and minus log 0.023 and 4. Now what we have to do, we have to take the log of each part carefully, and let's discuss each part over here on the separate place, that in order to take the log of 0.678, we know that log of any number consists of two parts, characteristic and mantissa. For the characteristic, we know that how to take the characteristic and what will be the characteristic and what is the rule for finding the characteristic of the number which is less than 1. Recall the rule that what and how can we take the characteristic of the number which is less than 1. That characteristic of the logarithm of the number less than 1 is always negative. As this number is less than 1, so characteristic will always be negative, and 1 more than the number of zeros immediately the decimal point, 1 more than the number of zeros after the decimal point. So as we are not having any 0 here after the decimal point, so the characteristic of this number will be -1. I hope you are clear about the characteristic. -1, I will preferably be writing it in this way. Characteristic is -1, and for the mantissa purpose I have to locate and make the 4 significant figures 6, 7, 8 and 0, and then I have to locate 67 in the column of 8. Let me keep my book under the camera, and I hope these lessons will be taking a little more time, but the problem is that I want to discuss these lessons in detail so that my students who are practicing this topic at home during summer break, they can easily understand the topic. And now what I have to do, I have to locate 67. I have to locate what? 67 in the column of 8. In the column of what? Column of 8. 67 when located in the column of 8 is 8312. 8312. Let me see. 67 in the column of 8312. Okay. So 8312. I have to write it 8312. 8312. So it means that the log of this number 0.678, let me record the answer, -1.8312, and moving to the second number, that is log of 9.01. 9.01. So again we have to talk about the characteristic and mantissa. Okay. So here what we have to do is that as we have one digit before the decimal, so the characteristic will be one digit less than the number of digits in the integral part, because this number is greater than 1. So characteristic of this number will be 0, and for mantissa purpose we have to make the 4 significant figures, and we have to locate 90 in the column of 1, and when I am checking 90 in the column of 1, this is giving me 9547. 9547. So the log of 9.01 will be 0.9547 and minus. Okay, now the third number is 0.023 and 4. First we have to think about the characteristic, and second is the mantissa. How to identify, how to find the characteristic of the numbers which are less than 1, as we have 1 0 after the decimal point. So the characteristic of this number will be -2. Characteristic will be -2. Recall the rule of characteristic. That is one of the most important points, and I will be repeating that lesson again and again in all of my lessons, so that my students should have the perfection about that sentence. Characteristic of the logarithm of the number which is less than 1. Characteristic of the logarithm of the number which is less than 1 is negative, and 1 more than the number of zeros immediately after the decimal point. So we have 1 0 after the decimal point, so the characteristic will be negative. And for the mantissa part, I have to locate 0, 2 in the column of 3 and 4. So what I have to do is, let me hold my book. Okay, let me first open the log table so that I can easily locate. Then what I have to see is that I have to locate, as we need to make 4 significant figures, so it will become 2, 3 and 4. Then I have to locate 23 in the column of what, students? 23 in the column of 4. So when I am checking 23, I am checking 23 in the log table, and your book page number is 293. 23 in the column of 4, this is 36, let me confirm it, 3692, 3692, 3692. So the log of this number will become, 2 bar point 0.3692. Now the calculation part, 1 bar, which is actually the characteristic, now can be written as -1 plus 0.8312 plus 0.9547 minus 2 plus 0.3692. Okay, this is also one of the important parts. -1 plus 0.8312 plus 0.9547, apply this minus sign, plus 2 and minus 0.3692. Now what we have to do is that we can write the whole numbers together. 2 minus 1 plus 2 minus 1, 0.8312 plus 0.9547 minus 0.3692. Okay, this will give me 1. Okay, this will give me 1. Let me hold the calculator. At this stage we can use calculator. 0.8312 plus 0.9547 and minus 0.3692. This gives me 1.4167, 1.4167, and this gives me 2.4167, 2.4167. Log of x, log of x equals to 2.4167. Now I have to find the number. In order to find the number, what we have to do is that we have to take the antilog of this number, antilog 2.4167, and now recall the role. We know that this is the log coming, and the first part is the characteristic and the second is mantissa part. So what is the role of characteristic in antilog, and what to do with mantissa 4167? First of all, I have to locate 0.41. Let me go back, table of antilogs. Yes, 41 has to be located in the column of 6. This is 4, 5 and 6. I hope this is 2600. Okay, and then I have to locate that in the difference column 7, and difference column 7 is giving me, let me write it once again here and keep the ruler, keep something under this, that I have to locate 41 in the column of 6. 41 in the column of 6 is giving me 2606, and then I have to find that number in the difference column 7. Okay, difference column 7 is giving me 4. It's really difficult to read such small numbers. Okay, please students, keep some straight ruler under these numbers, and this will be giving me 6 and 4, 10. Okay, 2610, 2610. Okay, Now, what is the role of characteristic? Characteristic will be telling us that decimal has to be placed how many digits from the left hand side. As the characteristic is 2, first we have to add 1 to that will become 3. It means we have to leave 3 digits from the left hand side. So the x will be equal to this is 2610. So first 261.0, so x will be equal to 261. I'm going really slow so that my students can understand. First of all, these 3 or 4 steps are the common steps of all the questions, that we have to suppose that this number is x, then we have to take a log on both sides, and then we have to see that which law of logarithm we can apply, and after that we have to find the characteristic and mantissa of each number and add or subtract according to the situation, and then finally we have to take the antilog. Watch, like, share and subscribe the channel. Thank you very much.